brain.
Fourth time?
Fourth time, yeah.
Fourth time. Clayton and I are laughing. This YouTube stuff is not easy at all. This is our fourth attempt doing so many screw-ups. But we're here. We're going to try again. This video, as you can see from the thumbnail, is about a before and after dyno session using Tunezilla software on a MK7.5 GTI. Cornflower blue one at that.
Good color. It
is a very good color. So we wanted to talk about this. We wanted to do the full dyno session to kind of show you the numbers with a completely stock vehicle. Kind of like a lot of videos we've done in the past where we show, you know, before and after. Do the comparison so you get true, real world results, not something that's, you know, 10 months down the road, getting a tune, adding some parts, whatever. It's all happening in one day. So with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Tunezilla software itself. Formerly known as Malone, we have been tuning with these guys since, I don't know, 2013, maybe 12, like 11 years or so, I'd say now. And we use their software a lot. In fact, my daily is with their software. The last video I think we did, the Mark6 Boss 500 turbo kit car, that was tuned with Tunezilla software. We use it all the time. We use it on swap vehicles, VRs, you name it. We've used their software on pretty much everything. And I've been doing so for a very long time.
And they do off the shelf, they do custom,
they do it all. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But the reason we're doing this video, for one, we want to kind of showcase their software. And for two, they reached out to us to try to help out some of our YouTube viewers and offer an affiliate program to get 10% off their software. So there will be a link below, and I may mention this a couple times through the video because
people don't pay attention.
That's for one. And two, because we film it so scattered, I may have already said it in the video previously. So there will be an affiliate link below. You just click the link. You're going to get 10% off the software. And again, they offer a slew of software for many, many different vehicles. So with that said, let's talk about a little bit more about the company, some of the software that they offer. Clayton, you got a list there. What are we adding?
I do get a list. So primarily they were known as more of a TDI.
Yeah, diesel.
Started anyway, and they've gone, I shouldn't say leaps and bounds, but they definitely are into everything now, which is amazing. They've
focused a lot more over the last couple of years on the MK7 and MK8 stuff. They have their Audi that they broke into nines with it on a stock engine. No world record setting stuff, but it's a pretty big accomplishment that they've made with that. They offer a slew of custom options, which we'll talk about on this Cornflower Blue GTI, some of the software that we've added to it. Clayton, what else is on the list?
A couple other things, like just with the MK7 and MK8 development. MK7, I believe they have some Flexfuel tuning.
Oh yeah, I can get into some of that.
Some TCM stuff, so I'll let Dave kind of take over.
Yeah, you're just sparking my memory. So on the MK7 stuff specifically, they offer true Flexfuel tuning for the MK7, I believe 1AT and 2 liters, so that covers GTI and R as well, plus the 1AT stuff. Also, they offer obviously your typical stage 1, stage 2 stuff. They offer stage 3 for bigger turbos, and they offer full custom tuning as well, all with the cable that you can purchase directly through them. So there's tons of options for ECU side of stuff. The Flexfuel stuff is huge. Also, the ability for the transmission software. In the TCU side of things, they have a couple different variants for, you know, automatic upshift. A lot of the stuff is common between the other tuners on the market, but they do offer their own flavor specifically to some of the transmission stuff and some of the ECU stuff. So the specific car that we're talking about, that we're doing today, is a Cornflower Blue GTI. We're doing you know, stock dyno runs as mentioned to stage 2. The stage 2 software specifically, the options that they're getting are, let me think about this. The options they're getting are exhaust crackle, which is you're able to turn it on and off. The auto start stop feature, this is all stuff that's coming with the software. The auto start stop feature, it remembers the last setting. So typically you get in the car, you always have to turn it off if you hate it. This will remember your last setting. So if you turn it off, it's going to stay off until you turn it on again. Doesn't matter if you shut the car on and off. Also, the boost gauge setting from factory is absolute pressure. So a lot of people get confused. It's like, depending on the software, it's showing you 30 something pounds of boost when really most people understand gauge pressure. So that's a little software edit that's included in this software as well. So you're actually going to see true gauge pressure. For the TCU side of things, we're going basically to like a stage 2 TCU software on the car as well. And there's all kinds of options in regards to the TCU software. Maybe I mentioned it already. I don't know. We've done like 5 takes of this and I can't remember. What else, Clayton?
A couple of things you have here: exhaust switch off, or switchable, sorry. Exhaust switchable.
Oh, that's the crackle we already talked about. See, I told you we'd do that.
Sorry. Map switching, did you talk about that?
Oh, we didn't talk about map switching. That's a big one. Yeah, so also for the Mark 7 stuff, they offer map switching up to 4 maps that you can have stock, race file. You can choose whatever you want, but you will be able to, as long as they've been purchased, you'll be able to switch between up to 4 different maps just through your cruise controller. I think they offer an option, they call it pedal dancing or something like that. You can change the programs with the throttle input. What else, Clayton? What else is on the list?
Yeah, that's all you got.
That's it? Are we going to get to the content now?
Yeah.
So, I talked about the affiliate stuff, right?
Yeah, you did.
Kind of the, what? 10% off. The link is below. We're about to show you before and after dyno footage, Cornflower Blue GTI. Let's get to it. All right, now that that's all out of the way, car's all warmed up. We're ready to do the first runs. Completely stock. There's no modifications, anything on this thing. 100% stock, 2021 GTI. Let's see what kind of power it makes. Then we'll get to the upgrades. All right, 7.5 GTI. See what it's got. I'll show you guys what this did. Again, this would be on 91 pump gas, completely stock, 216, 267. We'll probably see a slight variance in the next couple of runs, but should be pretty close to this. Okay, run 2. Okay, so this one, 222, 269. As you can see, the graphs are pretty near identical to each other. A little bit of gain up through here. Yeah, one more. We'll do one more. Pretty consistent. So it did 221.9, that time 267. So they're all pretty near dead on. So that'll be it for stock. Time to do the mods. All right, stock downpipe is out. And we're putting in a CTS upgraded downpipe in its place. So that's step 1 of doing the upgrades on this GTI. All right, so downpipes in, just swapped out the plugs for colder plugs. Intake's in. We're gonna start buttoning it back up, and then we gotta flash it and get it back on the dyno. So very close now. Okay, so the car's on the dyno. We're ready to flash it. Tonzilla has a full tutorial on how to download the software and flash a vehicle. I'm just gonna go through the quick thing. So once I have the software open, I just click tune, make sure the car is connected to the battery charger. It is. It's connected to the car. Ignition is on. Click next. So now it's going to identify the ECU and TCU of this vehicle. We will be flashing both of those in this car. So once it does this, it's going to come up and give you the options and files available for the car. There's even, you know, if there's more files available, you can click these links. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff for ECU and TCU. This is the file that we're going to be adding to this vehicle. Stage 2, 91 octane. So we're going to flash the selected file. And then it's just going to go through the steps of actually flashing the vehicle. So once this is done, we'll kind of show you what it's like to flash the TCU. But we'll let this do its thing for a minute and continue on. So as that continues on flashing, I just wanted to mention a few things about the cable and purchasing this online. You'll be able to flash this just like this at home yourself with that cable. You do have the ability as well to book an appointment with your dealer and not purchase the cable. You can just have the dealer, much like I'm doing right now, flash the car so you don't have the extra expense of the cable. The cable kind of makes it more convenient, especially if you live in a rural area and you have no Tunezilla dealers around, but you can 100% book it in with your local dealer as well and not need to purchase the cable. So it's kind of personal preference. It gives you, you know, the ability to change files, update, especially if you plan on going down the path, purchasing stage 1, stage 2, maybe custom tune or stage 3. You have that ability when you purchase the cable directly. But we're at 62% at this portion of the flash. We still only block 6 of 10, so we got a little bit to go, but I just wanted to mention that as we continue on with this thing. Also, I wanted to mention, we talked about it at the beginning of the video, but there is an affiliate link. So any tunes that you purchase, whether it's Haldex tunes, TCU tunes, ECU tunes, any of the tunes that you purchase from Tonzilla, if you use the affiliate link that we have linked below, you will get 10% off. Every little bit helps nowadays, so 10% off for potentially thousands of dollars worth of tunes is going to make a big difference. This one now is completed its flash of the ECU, so now we're going to switch over and flash the TCU. Okay, now on to the TCU. There is quite a few options for stage 1, stage 2, Autobahn, NURSPEC. All the details on what each one of these entails is on Tunzilla's website. The differences between the different variants has to do with automatic upshift, raised RPM limit, disabled auto upshift, disabled auto downshift. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, now that I've purchased the file for the transmission, the stage 2 Autobahn file, which is right here, you can now see is available for me to flash. So I'm going to select that file and I'm going to flash selected file. And it's going to do kind of the same thing it did initially flashing the ECU, but now it's going to be flashing the transmission this time. So we're almost ready to dyno this thing. Well, obviously we got to bring it back up to temperature and all that, which we'll do here in a minute, but we'll wait for this to flash, get it running. Let's see what kind of numbers this thing makes. Okay, files have been flashed. Hardware has been swapped out, downpipe, intake, plugs, and I think that was it. ECU, TCU, it's warmed up. Let's see what this thing can do. All right, we're ready to try this thing. Okay, first run did 270 horsepower, 347 torque. It's good. Okay, that one, 278, 350 wheel torque. A lot of torque out of these IS-20s, that's for sure. $275, $350. Super smooth, super consistent.
That's a serious looking increase.
The results are in, Clayton. So as you would have seen in the video, we did pretty much all the stock files were near identical to each other within like 1 horsepower. 221, 222 as a high for horsepower in stock. And again, that was obviously, as you see in the video, completely stock vehicle, no modifications whatsoever. It did 269 torque. And then after the ECU and TCU flash, we've gained not only a whole bunch more horsepower and torque, it did a high of 278 wheel horsepower, 350 wheel torque. So in the mid-range here, there's certain areas that are like 100 plus wheel torque and 70 or 80 wheel horsepower. And then also we gained a whole bunch of RPM as well. Oops, I just zooming this in by mistake. We gained a whole bunch of RPM as well. So out here at 6,500, you gained 266 horsepower because it didn't even exist before. So a combination of the ECU and TCU allows for the RPM to go a little bit further. Comparing this to some of the other providers that we tune for, this is basically dead nuts on to all the rest. The one thing that would really benefit this car, which if you look back through our database of doing kind of comparison, before and after comparison videos and stuff, I think we've made up as high as around 300 wheel horsepower on a GTI with stage 2 software, but the big difference with that was a front mount intercooler. And on the Mark 7 GTIs and the Mark 7Rs, we typically will see 15 to 20 wheel horsepower with a front mount intercooler. So with a front mount intercooler, 100%, I know this would gain even more power. Clayton, what am I forgetting? We had a couple things to mention about
Malone, when did they start?
2004, so 20 years, and we've been with them over half that time, which is kind of crazy.
It's crazy.
It
I mentioned how they haven't come, like I said, leaps and bounds, but I didn't mean that as a bad thing, that they didn't come leaps and bounds, because they were always really good. They always had really good support, really good tunes.
100%. Again, the companies I tune for, I choose them for a reason. They are very good at supporting us. They offer great software. We've used them, again, for many, many years. I drive it on my own car. But only over the last few years, they really put focus on the Mark 7 and Mark 8 stuff. And as you can see, probably by my rambling at the beginning of the video, it's full feature set with all of the software. And one thing I did forget, I think at the beginning, for typical stage 1 cars, a lot of guys won't do TCU software unless they're chasing the specifics that a TCU software brings to the table. But a lot of guys will do stage 1 and then not do the transmission. Tonzilla offers a TCU file specific for stage 1. It's not a true TCU file, but it does give greater clamping force, and it's free. So if you get a stage 1 tune on your Mark 7, Mark 7 GTI, I don't know about Mark 8s. Don't quote me on the pricing and everything because it's all on their website. But on the Mark 7 stuff for sure, stage 1, you can get basically a file to help the transmission out. It's not a true full TCU tune, which you can also get as well, but it's a little extra bonus feature that they offer. Clayton, wrap it up. He's telling me to wrap it up. Big numbers, big gains. I've gotten tons of feedback from the customer already. This is obviously a different car that's here right now.
Customers out enjoying the car.
Enjoying it. And I'll probably add a couple of little blurbs of some of the messages they've sent me already about it. So if I've forgotten anything, ask below. Again, below also is the affiliate link to save 10% off.
And that doesn't mean that you have to get the work done here as well, right? This is for anybody across the world.
Global. We're reaching a global market.
Planet?
On this planet only, I think. I don't think they offer the software on other planets. But anybody, click the link. You get 10% off. It helps the channel a little bit, and you save yourself some money. If you have any questions, ask below. See you in the next video, which might be this. And this one has no engine because it's getting lots of upgrades. Clayton, you going to have this video Friday?
Yeah, definitely. I got nothing going on this week, so I'll get it. Yeah, we're good.
Round two, this YouTube stuff, man, it still gets me every single time. It's not easy.
It's easy.
It's not easy. It looks easy because we edit out all the garbage and the
I leave some
swearing and all
garbage
that. Yeah, you do leave some garbage in. Third time's a charm. This YouTube stuff, man, is not easy.
The last clip, we said second time's a charm.
It is not easy doing this. Still, to this day, man, it's brutal. So anyways, this video, as you can see, is about a cornflower blue